from New York, it's the Jabbo and Crabbo Show!
No, no, no.
Yay! Hi guys, how is everybody tonight? Oh, we're going to take the sound down. Okay, so that will start off with the first thing I'm going to talk about. So hello to our friends out there who we know already. I know Keith is out there. I know Owl is out there. I know Obstructionist is out there. I'm so glad to see you guys. If somebody's out there named Guest, put your name down. We want to know who you are. We want you to be part of our community. And if you're on the Blog TV site, add your name as well. Okay, so I'll start with sound. So I've talked about sound a little bit. We're using our internal mic. What that means, and we need to use our internal mic, that means there's different levels for different things. So I'm going to gauge things as best I can and turn it up sometimes and turn it down sometimes. Let me know if it's crazy. You might need to turn up and down your computer a little bit too. I'll try to control the clipping, which is when it sounds like static, and but sometimes I'm going to need to keep things soft. We have so much tonight. I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really glad you're here. Who are we? Do you want to tell them who we are?
You tell them. You're Jabbo.
So, oh, wait. We will let the computer tell you who we are. We are Catherine and Giuseppe Jones, and we're on that camera. Which camera are we on? Oh my gosh, I don't know how we got on that camera. Well, we're Catherine and Giuseppe Jones, and we are the founders of Synchronous.tv, which was the first production company to stream a scripted web drama live on the internet, and we're really, really passionate about live. And our next project is still in development. So, oh, I see what happened. So why...
Development.
Meaning Catherine hasn't written a goddamn thing. But, so, but I've done a lot of research. So while we're doing this, we thought, why not reach out, create a community of artists. We have an amazing guest artist here tonight I'm so excited about. And also teach people about all the stuff we've learned and about how to bring your world to the web, how to bring your creativity to the web. And some tech tips.
Yeah, but let's talk about that band we just heard first. That was Winzenried, a.k.a. the Hollywood Drunks, with off their album, Hooray. I want to say a little bit about the artist. Eric Winzenried's songs contain self-deprecating humor, sarcasm, and their not-so-distant cousin, anger. They all share the same message. If you're able to laugh at the humorous, fragile nature of life, you'll stop viewing yourself as a victim and take back the controls. Winzenried is going to be live Saturday, May 10th at 10 p.m. at the Old Town Ale House, Loch Ness Pub, 66 North Fair Oaks Avenue, Pasadena, California, 91103-626-577-6583. So if anyone happens to be in Pasadena, check them out.
Okay. Hey, I know Keith Burtis, you guys feel free to ask us questions at any time, and we will answer them all to the best of our ability. We are using a webcam, and we're also using just a consumer, actually a 2-year-old Canon Illura, which actually isn't even mine. It belongs to my partner, my creative partner, Nick. So that's what we're using. And on this also, I just wanted to mention this tonight, because some people weren't clear about this last week. I know a lot of you guys know this. We are a 2-man TV studio. There's no one else here.
Well, one man and one woman.
Yeah, okay, you're right. We're one man and one woman. But there's nobody else pushing any buttons. We're doing all the graphics. We've prepared everything, and we're pushing all these buttons to make all these graphics happen, and we're in our apartment. But the point of that is, you can do it too. And I think that there's so many ways to bring your creativity to the web, and I have a lot of ideas. So we want to know what yours are. I'm happy to help people with ideas, etc., etc. Okay, what's next? Okay. So,
question of the week.
So, Mr. Jones?
So, in honor of the glut of superhero movies this summer coming out, the question of the week is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh.
Jabbo.
If I could have any, I would have the superpower of self-confidence.
Ah.
I have nothing more to say except for... Which camera are we on? We're on this camera. I have nothing more to say except for that. If I believed in myself enough, I would have the life that I've always dreamed of already.
Very interesting.
What would you have guessed?
I don't know.
Okay, what about you?
What superpower would I have? The power of eternal life. I'd probably get bored, but
No,
I think I'd start with that.
I don't think so. Okay, so what about other people? What do we have in the
Owl?
chat room here? What did Owl have to say?
Power of flight, perhaps?
What do people say though? It is super. Is that Rick Wolf? Hey, Rick Wolf. Rick Wolf is in the room. So happy to see Rick Wolf.
Hey.
I think that's a pretty superpower.
Joe says invisibility.
Ooh, Joe. Okay, Joe. Joe is a programmer. He's an amazing guy. In fact, Joe, maybe next week we can show your program on the show. Joe has a really cool Twitter app that's awesome. Why invisibility, Joe? Is he saying why?
Oh, Hannah Banana got her idea stolen.
Was that Hannah Banana or was that Banani? That's not Hannah Banana. That's Banani. That's Annie
Sorry,
Basio.
Banani.
Why invisibility, you guys? Why would you be invisible? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so Rick Wolf is saying that self-confidence isn't a superpower because it's attainable. But I think a lot of superpowers are possibly attainable. In fact, did anybody watch CBS Sunday Morning? They did a show on like a real live Iron Man suit that does a lot of what...
Exoskeleton.
An exoskeleton. That does a lot of what those things do.
Ooh, Joe says to be a fly on the wall also.
Uh-oh, I'm
Nice.
afraid to know what Joe wants to see.
Sneaky.
Anybody else out
The
there?
power to have enough scratch to give money to all that need it and educate them.
Who said that?
Who said that? Keith.
Keith Burtis. Of course he did. Yeah, that's
The
good.
Scratch Man.
The Scratch Man. Anything else? All right. So, hooray. Question of the week. What's next?
So let's talk about your wonderful tech tip.
Okay, I have a really, 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 really special, I hope, tech tip of the week. I found this amazing site, and I've actually pre-recorded this, you guys, so that I go along with the tape, so the tape doesn't get ahead of me, etc., etc. So this week's tech tip of the week is a company called Mutapic. It's a Web 2.0 company. If you don't know about it, you will now, and you let us know if the sound is funky.
Okay, so today's tech tip of the week is Mutapic. And what Mutapic is a visual brainstorming session that lets you create logos, that lets you create designs, all sorts of images for free on your browser that then for a $30 fee you can download to your hard drive. And voila, what you have is what looks like a professionally produced logo for $30. You can also use it as a book design cover. You can use it to design fabrics.
Also, the sound is muted.
And I'm going to show you how Mutapic, a visual brainstorming software, works. So when you enter Mutapic, you see you have your choice of the home page, Start, Gallery, Info, and Pro. And what Pro does, like I said, is that it's a $30 fee, and then you can upload your own images to Mutapic as well, and you can also download the images and use those images however you want. So here on the left of your screen, you see three buttons. One says Generate, one has a picture of a hand, and one has a picture of a design. Generate is the button you're going to push to generate images. And they start you off with these two images, which they're going to layer over one another. There's that hand, and there's that circle. But you know what? I'm not so crazy about the hand, not so crazy about the circle, so I want to choose some different images. All I need to do, click on that hand, and up comes a palette of all sorts of other symbols that I can choose from. So I'm going to choose the A, and then I have an even larger palette filled with letters and numbers that I can use as my main focus of my design. So I'm going to choose C for Crabbo, and you can see below that I've also gone back into the palette and chosen a squirrely design that I think is really cool, and that is going to be the bottom basis of my design. So now I'm just going to hit Generate and see what Mutapic comes up with for me. And this is what Mutapic created for me. Now I have no filters on my image right now at all, so what you're going to see is a plain black and white C and a little swirly cue with all these different variations of combining these two images, and I think it's really cool. But I also want to add now some color, some filters, so let's see what happens when we do that. So right next to my grid, you see a line, a curvy line of filters. Now these filters do all sorts of things like change the tint, brightness, they can translate where your image is on the page, can rotate, can scale, can tile your images, and you can choose a number of these different filters to use at the same time. Don't recommend too many because the server gets all confused, but choose some. And then you hit the magic generate button. And voila, on my palette or my grid, I don't know what they call it, I have 16 different variations of my sea and my squirrel with all sorts of filters added to them. And I like what I see, but I want to see what else I can create. So I'm going to go back to that palette of filters, and I'm going to add a frame filter, a translate filter, and a texture filter. Now, you don't have to understand what these mean. I have a vague idea of what many of these terms mean, but really the point is just to play around. And once I hit those 3 filters, this is what I come up with. Very cool. But I want to see what else I can do, so I'm going to hit generate again. Also, really cool. Now I'm starting to see stuff that I really like and think I can use. One of my favorite variations was this sea. I thought it was really cool. I liked the black sea. I liked the purple and the green swirl in the middle. So I clicked on that particular square and it brings up that sea full screen. So now I'm going to play around with that image and see how I can alter it and see what comes up. Once you have a full screen image, the mutate button changes. You can see there's 4 little circles here, and these 4 circles do different things. One regenerates the image entirely, one lets you mutate only a little bit, and one lets you mutate a whole lot. I can't remember. Oh, and one is a medium mutate button, so you have a little bit more control over how much your filters are changing. So I'm going to click one of these buttons. I can't actually remember which one I clicked, but let's see what we come up with. So now I have all these different variations of the sea, and it's cool, but I'm not sure I'm actually sold on that swirl. I think I'll add a circle instead. That's an easy change. I just swap out the swirl for the circle in the palette on the left, and now I have a different set of images, and I like them too, but I want to see what the sea looks like black. So I play a little bit with the color controls, and this is what I come up with. And from here I just start playing around, adding different images to the top of the sea, different filters to make my sea different color and to make my images blend differently. And for those of you who are Photoshop aficionados, underneath the image palettes you'll actually see traditional Photoshop filters like multiply and hard light and soft light, and you can play a lot around with those as well, as you can see I've done here. So for some reason I'm really attracted to this airplane, and I played around with it with the C, and then I played around with it a little bit more with the J. Now the whole point of this program, well I guess there's 2. One is brainstorming, and as I was going through these filters and seeing all these different variations on my design, I was getting all sorts of ideas, image ideas that I had never thought of before or would never have thought of. And also, you can, again, like I said, create a logo that you can now use on the web, you can use on your stationery to save these images to your hard drive. You do have to join the site, become a member or a pro or whatever, and that's $30, but that's pretty darn cheap. You'd pay a graphic designer a heck of a lot more than that. So that is my tech tip of the week. It's mutapic.com, and I'll get over there and play a little bit.
So there that is. And no, Keith asked if I'm affiliated with the company. No, I just like one of the things that, oh, I'm bringing the sound down. Is that better? Okay. Keith asked if I'm affiliated with the company. No, not affiliated with the company. I'm just, out there all the time. I go to tons of tech events. I hear people present their stuff all the time. I go searching for stuff all the time, and I'm really just hoping to bring you guys stuff that you may or may not know about that will help you bring your creativity to the web. And I know someone said that's like Photoshop for dummies, and it is in a way, and you can use it that way. However, it also is such a great brainstorming thing. It gave me, like, I do graphics to a small degree, and I get stuck in, like, the way my head thinks, and it just totally takes me out of the way, it expands my visual horizons. So it's fun to play with, and if you become a pro, it's $30. Then you can upload your own images, and you can download the images too. And he also has a user agreement wherein basically you own your images. It's all Creative Commons images, and he has this little legal thing on there saying, don't hold him to it, but he thinks that they're all legal. So there you go. Oh, I have one more thing to say. This is just one more little thing for everybody. I know some people, if you're watching it on our site, that chat room gets in the way, and it's really, really annoying. You can get rid of that chat room. I'm cutting to here, Jay. If you want to get rid of that chat room, you'll see underneath the frame there's a little bubble that looks like a talking bubble. Click that. It'll get rid of the chat room if you don't want to see the Blog TV chat room. Okay. So, Giuseppe's really annoyed with me because...
No, I'm not.
Because, wait, it's time for you to talk. Which camera you want, Jonesy?
So,
Which one you want?
it doesn't matter. This is a little thing called I'm Talking here, as you guys saw. So last week, we did balloons, the history of. And before that, we talked a little bit about the Pope. So why we talked about balloons is because it was Catherine's birthday, and she got some balloons as a present from some friends of ours. So a few months ago, it was my birthday, and I'm still celebrating it because one of my presents was a membership in the Bacon of the Month Club. Can you believe it? Bacon of the Month? I get a pound of bacon every month for 6 months. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the history of bacon. Bringing home the bacon. So until well into the 16th century, bacon, or bacon, was a Middle English term used to refer to all pork in general. The term bacon comes from various Germanic and French dialects. It derives from the French bako, Common Germanic bacon, and Old Teutonic beki, or baki, all of which refer to the back. There are breeds of pigs particularly grown for bacon, notably the Yorkshire and Tamworth. In England, a side of bacon is called a gammon, and a slice of bacon is known as a rasher. 70% of the bacon in America is consumed at the breakfast table. Now you're probably familiar with the phrase, bring home the bacon. Well, in the 12th century, a church in the English town of Dunmow promised a side of bacon to any married man who could swear before the congregation and God that he had not quarreled with his wife for a year and a day. A husband who could bring home the bacon was held in high esteem by the community for his forbearance. So, just a little history of bacon for you guys.
Hooray! Delicious. All right, anything that we need to know going on in the chat room over there?
Let's eat.
Oh, okay, the Bacon of the Month Club. I got it through, because Rick Wolf says he wants to sign up for that. It's a really cool gift. I got it through Zingerman's, Zingermans, and it's actually relatively affordable. It's a great gift. Anything else we need to talk to about, because we have something really exciting coming up. I'm about to bring in, we actually have a guest in our studio tonight who is amazing, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what she does. And yeah, Rick Wolf says the Atkins diet lets him eat bacon every day. So here in our studio / living room, we have Emily Rubin. And Emily Rubin has, well, as I've advertised this tonight as poetry at the laundromat. What I think I'm going to do is, while Giuseppe gets out of here and Emily moves in, I'm just going to show you, they've been covered, what Emily does has been covered a lot on local news. I'm going to show you a little bit of a YouTube video that shows a little bit about that. I'm going to bring Emily in. We're going to talk about what she does. I have a little video of an event she did yesterday. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Okay.
Come on in, Emily.
So here we go. Can you keep this?
They say the closest thing to a good man is a man with his laundry.
For some people, going to the laundromat is a mundane drag. For others, it's like therapy. Tonight, one East Village laundromat is going to try to switch up the experience for everyone. WNYC's Richard Hake attended a recent reading in a series appropriately called Dirty Laundry, Loads of Prose.
In Alphabet City, the Avenue C laundromat at 5th Street is bright, clean, and welcoming. It's an example of gentrification in a once sketchy but still somewhat gritty neighborhood. Past the dryers, washers, and folding tables in the back, a microphone is hooked up to a boombox, which plays music as the crowd gathers.
How it works. I'm going to write down a number between 1 and 25 in honor of the quarter. And then raise your hand, and if you guess the number, you get the laundry bag.
So, oh,
There we go.
There we go.
Dirty laundry.
Yep.
On the web. Here
Crazy.
in your living room.
But, you know, poetry in a laundromat and all this stuff in our living room. Giuseppe, are we going to take it down? Will you do us a favor, Giuseppe? And you just deal with the chat room and tell us what's going on. Like, you can tell us, like, what people are saying from the chat room. He's, like, looking at me like I'm
Thumbs
crazy.
up.
He's like,
He
of
said
course.
thumbs up.
Okay. So Giuseppe and I went to Laundry and Prose yesterday.
Thank you, yeah, for coming. Loads of Prose.
Loads of Prose.
Yeah, it was...
I have footage from it. Well, first of all, I'm going to say this. So much fun and meaningful at the same time.
Oh, thank
It was
you.
such an awesome experience. It's kooky. Why a laundromat? What?
Well, I guess I have to say something, a little bit about my personality, since everybody out there maybe doesn't know. A long history of just wanting to be... Can't stand not to be. You know, that's... Since I was, a kid and was...
You have to say what you wanted to be again. The subversive got cut out.
Oh, subversive. Playfully subversive. I mean, that's like kind of my motto, my way of being in life. Everything that I do was probably formulated at a very young age because I have two older brothers who totally tortured me all the time. So I had to find ways to make their life miserable and be able to laugh. So now, to taking out like making people's life miserable, now it's just like, I like to play. I like to play.
But in a laundromat?
In a laundromat. Well, here's, typical laundromat scenario. I really don't like doing laundry, so much so that I would have to say that most of the time I drop my laundry off and let the person who works at the laundromat do my laundry. The only tip about that is always tip your laundry person, because then it comes back really well folded. But if you are stuck there with mounds of laundry, it gets kind of boring. I mean, some people love to go read a book, watch TV. But I just had this notion, it's like, well, maybe it's just something happened. Spontaneously, not spontaneously, organized, not organized, in a laundromat that was a little bit entertaining. It might bring people out who were writers or musicians in the neighborhood to meet people that were their neighbors, that were also had dirty laundry, because we all do. And it was just kind of really an experiment, a community experiment.
That's interesting.
And that's what, something else is just, like this, like what you're doing here. It's just a total experiment about what happens when people come together in odd places.
So yesterday we had a really, I'm going to show you, I put together like 2 minutes of footage from Laundry and Prose yesterday, because what happened, I mean, so like you guys know, anybody who's been on our show before, so far it hasn't happened this week, but twice it just cut out. The show stopped. Like anything can happen. We're doing stuff on very tiny budgets, and we're using the resources that are out there. So what happened to you yesterday?
Well, we got thrown out of the laundromat. I mean, this is a laundromat that I've done events at, about 4 or 5 events already, and different workers have been there. The owner has never been there. He's never shown his face. This is at Clean and Cleaner on East 2nd Street. And so, I've always worked it out with the people that are working there. I'm going to come and do this, what I call a laundry party, and I'm just inviting some friends, and people are going to do some laundry, and somebody's going to read a poem or sing a song, something like, I just set it up like that. They're like, oh, fine, whatever you want to do. And so yesterday, the guy who was working the front desk, I guess you could call that at the laundry, at the front counter at the laundry, he was really cool about it, young guy. And then there was a guy working in the back who was doing the, part of the wash and fold team that was doing the drop-off.
That happens at a laundry.
That is, the big part of their business there. He was not into it at all. He didn't know it was going to happen. He said the boss wasn't there. He just didn't want it to happen. And it was just this kind of, it was definitely a political move between these two people working there.
All right, so let's see what happened. I'm going to show you what happened instead. And I shot this on my little consumer camera, so it's really about the images and not so much the sound.
It worked out.
We're outside the laundromat today.
On the sidewalk, I'm going to be reading very short poems, haikus, and couplets. And this one is called Still Life with Tequila Interrupted. Lemons in lieu of lime, a broken thread of salt, Ray.
The Ariel caught the poop beautifully every time, sometimes with her feet, sometimes with her arms, sometimes with her ankles, once with her head. That night I dreamt shadows were dancing above me. I thought I was falling from a trapeze, and I moved to my own shuddering.
Imagine half your face rubbed out, yet you're suited up and walking to the office. How will your mates greet you? With heavy hearts, flowers, rosary beads? How shall we greet the orphan boy, the husband whose hands slipped, children and wife swept away? How to greet our New Year's and our birthdays? Shall we always light a candle?
The campsite flavored Valentine candy. Remember 1001 ways to use me.
But what if the ocean were innocent? The tectonic plates innocent? What if God were innocent? I do not know how to walk upon the beach, how to lift corpse after corpse until I am exhausted, how to stop the tears when half my face has been rubbed out.
So everyone, thank you. I'm glad it was a nice day. Thank you, everyone. And now it's time to do the laundry bag. Yeah. Oh. Anyone else?
Hey.
Yay! So that's that.
Oh, that's such great footage. I had no idea, you know.
It was, first the writers were amazing. Like, we're sitting on the freaking sidewalk. Oh, I'm taking sound down, sorry.
My sound.
Is that better, Giuseppe? The writers, I'm talking too loud. The writers were amazing. How did you get these? They were amazing.
Well, you know, there's this, that's the thing about the community of writers in New York, around the country. There's this amazing work that's being done that, yeah, I guess, you know, part of my desire with this project is that people don't know about it. And writers, you know, they write their books, they get these books published. All these writers are published by this wonderful press called Hanging Loose Press. It's this independent publisher, which, you know, you can look up and see writers that they've published, which are many. And
they should be doing online live readings.
Yeah, it's just,
they should be.
You know, I think that, you know, it's something that we really should do more of. And just, you know, the writers love, like a musician, loves to have a chance to play. They love to have a chance to get their work out there. And it strikes people's fancy to have a laundromat be that place because they, you know, as artists, they're and as writers, they're kind of a small community of writers. And not to say that their lives aren't expanded with, you know, many people of diverse jobs and things, but the opportunity of reading in a laundromat, when it strikes them well, they just want to come and do it and share their work. And then it just ends up being just a wonderful experience for everybody.
It is. You know, I mean, it was like I kept saying to Giuseppe, it was meaningful and fun. It was funny. I mean, the reason I put some of the clips in there is like there's people walking in with their laundry, and the bells are going off, and then he's reading about the tsunami.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of heartbreaking. All of them were kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But, Giuseppe, is there anything that we need to know from the chat room? Okay.
Well, it's just that, you know, it's a kind of mixture of stuff. You know, being in the laundromat, what's sort of extraordinary about that is that, you know, people are actually getting their chore accomplished.
Yeah.
While this is going on too, which is, to me, that's, you know, like,
that's really interesting.
We all multitask in our lives anyway. That it's just kind of an extension of that.
It makes me think like we have somebody out there who's a woodturner. Like I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I'm not really. Like Keith's doing a laundromat, you know, like, or really kind of any artist set up a studio in a place where, I mean, I know that there's coffee and laundromat places and there's wine and laundromat places, but it makes so much sense to like fill that time with something meaningful.
Get something done. You know, just something that brings people together.
And why this for you? No, so.
Well,
are you an actor? Are you a writer?
Well, mostly writer.
Fascinating.
You know, I've had different kind of passions in my life that have brought me here. And
does the laundromat have Wi-Fi?
Yes, it does. Actually, they kicked us out, but that laundromat does have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, which is new to that laundromat actually. And the last time I was there, they didn't have it.
Really?
So you know, they're looking to expand the kind of activity there. There's one laundromat in Brooklyn that we did a show in that has video games, arcade games, a massage chair, one of those like chairs with the hands like this. They come up and so you can get a lot done in a laundromat, while you're waiting for your. And
Rick thinks it might suppress the showmanship. Everybody hunched over their laptops.
He thinks what?
Well,
everyone hunched over their laptops might suppress the showmanship of the performance.
Well, I've had people say, doesn't the doing laundry or something distract people from the writers reading their work? And, it seems like it's somehow something melds. That people's attention, it's like if a writer is able to perform their work in such a way, and some people don't want to deal with the circumstances.
Right.
Because it is a bit to overcome. You got the sound of the laundry, but we bring in a sound system and we try to make it as prominent as we can, but we really want to give in to the people, give space to the people who are doing their laundry, because that's
right.
That is kind of the main
and
event.
You know what? Like for me, I was shooting as I was doing it. I'm not a great shooter, so my attention was not there 100%. It was probably there 80%, but I loved what I heard, and now I'm going to go buy their work. At some point, I'm going to go buy their work.
These people you want to know more about. It's like, you're getting a taste of what there are. It's like even reading a book. You may not get, your attention may, go in and out while you're reading, but you're gonna get something from it. It's got to be out of your own experience.
Joe wants to know if you ever thought of a bongo drum player, kind of a beat poetry slam type of thing.
I would always, any kind of music to add to this experience is always a great idea. I did one, not a bongo, but I did with a composer whose name is Butch Morris, and he's a conductor and a composer, and he put together a group of 8 poets who all wrote pieces that were about laundry. And then he conducted them in the as like an orchestra.
Oh my God, that's
and it
amazing.
was just the footage from that, sometimes we'll show you some of the footage from that, but I don't have it up on the website yet, but it had that kind of rhythm to it, and it kind of like and the way he conducted it, like swelled at a certain point, and then it was quiet, and then it just had a. I think that's the thing that attracts me about the laundromat, is that there is this rhythm.
That's amazing.
Going on there already, about the water moving, the thump of the machines and the dryers, and so it is. Hey, if you're a bongo player.
Joe, are you a bongo player? I don't know, just bongo. But there's something about, like, I don't know, a community, and like the online thing is all about community, and I know half the people out there, and I'm so happy that they're here.
Thanks for being here.
I'm so glad you guys are here. And it's about community, and it's also something about, like, finding, something Giuseppe and I said as we walked away is, there's all these amazing things in New York we don't do. We forget about, and these things are out there for everywhere. It's not just in New York, and it was just really special.
Thank you. Well,
really
we trust.
So when's your next one?
Well, I actually don't have one scheduled, so you'll have to go on the website to look at it.
But you've gone to Boston before, right?
I've been to,
You're being admired for seeing beauty even in a laundromat, Keith.
Thank you, Keith. No, this is I'm inspired by laundromats. Now, not it's beauty in a laundromat, but now when I walk by a laundromat, the smell just kind of like I check it out. Maybe you'll never look at a laundromat the same ever again.
This is what I'm wondering. Because a lot of people out here are media creators, and we go to these media camps. And there's one in Boston called PodCamp Boston in July. And I wonder if there could be like a dual PodCamp Boston and afterwards musicians and poets in a Cambridge laundromat.
Well, you know what? Actually, Cambridge is very high on my list because
very interesting.
The fellow who I mentioned before, Butch Morris, he is connected to the person who's the assistant to the mayor in Cambridge, whose name I can't remember, but we've emailed each other, and because Butch Morris said that Cambridge would be a great place to do something. So that's something that I've been to in Massachusetts. The only city in Massachusetts that I've done one is in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, which is a very New Englandy, picturesque town.
We got married there.
Did you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you get married?
In New Marlborough, outside of Great Barrington.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, so, we can look into that for July. Hamish, because I don't have
I'm going to
anything.
hook you up with the right people and see what we can do.
Yeah.
All right, so we're kind of running out of time, and you were going to read, but I feel like we're running out of time.
Yeah, maybe
but
there's some time.
Can I put this on our website?
Oh, I have this story. Yeah. You know, as I brought a story to read that's kind of about writing, and it actually just got rejected from a place that I sent it to. So it's one of those things, you know, it's like, okay, you know, send it out, get rejected.
Can we put it on our website?
I would love to.
Okay, I'm going to put a special page on our website, and it's just going to be
you.
this. And I'll find all you guys, and I'll link to it. And then, you know.
It's a little bit of my writing. Then, yeah, just check out Dirty Laundry. The other thing that I do that is scheduled is that you're here on the Upper West Side. We're here on the Upper West Side, and also on the Upper West Side is this great place called International Hostel. Place on 103rd in Amsterdam. And I do a show there every month.
Really?
Yes, for their guests, but in their laundry room.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so the offer
Joe
there...
thinks we should do a poetry slam in Boston.
Yeah,
Camp Boston.
that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
We're talking about that.
All right, Joe, so you and I are going to get on the horn with Chris Brogan and Chris Penn and get Emily involved, and we're going to make this happen.
And I'll get my contacts with the mayor and the assistant to the mayor. And
this is so like this community. So, all right. So I'm going to put I'm going to put this on our calendar. If you guys hit our events page, our upcoming events page, hopefully it's working. It works on my computer, not on Giuseppe's. We have a Google Calendar that updates, and I want to know what you guys have out there that you also want on there. What events, what projects you're working on. If you come to our show, I'm happy to put it up there. But I'm going to put the hostel thing up there, and then make a separate page for your writing, and we're going to put your writing up there. And thank you so much for being here.
Yay! Good for you guys.
All right. So Giuseppe Jones, what's next? Oh, I have the thing. Shoot. Okay, I'm totally unorganized.
Say bye.
And say goodbye to Emily.
The other one.
What? Oh, it's the other one. Okay, current project. All right. So I'm gonna.
So bye.
She's saying goodbye.
Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you soon.
And now we're going to go on to my current project report, which is sad, but true. And I think I'm going to go to this camera here. So my current project, first of all, Keith, I listened to you. I sang this week, and I've been watching Beach Walks with Rocks almost every day, and I put her up on our site. I knew she was inspiring. She's really, really inspiring. I haven't written. I will write. I'm going to DC for 3 days to take care of my little baby niece, and I think I will write. But you guys have really inspired me. What about you guys? What's going on with you guys? Anybody working on? Joe, what's going on with your project? What's going on out there?
2 tears in the graphic.
Oh, that's sweat. It's not tears, it's sweat.
Working hard to achieve your goals.
Yeah. And what about you?
Wrap it up.
Okay, he wants me to wrap it the hell up. And I'm going to wrap it the hell up. That's why he's Crabbo. What about you and your current projects?
I ain't got nothing.
You got something exciting happening this month.
Do?
You do.
Oh, I told him about that already.
Did you tell them who you were acting with?
No.
Can we tell them?
You tell them.
Giuseppe is playing opposite Meryl Streep this summer. And I'm only laughing. It's totally true. He's playing opposite Meryl Streep. He has one line.
We talked about this in the
we
first...
did.
Yeah, the first
I'm
show,
very proud of him, and I think it's awesome, and I can't wait for him to have more than one line. All right, so that's it. Okay, anybody else out there have any events that you want us to tell people about? Any information you want people to know? Type it now, or forever hold your peace, because I'm getting set up to put our band back on again. Something's happening Monday evenings. I can't tell what it is. Oh, Joe, your social media barbecue. If you want it on my calendar, let me know. I'll stick it on my calendar. He did that last summer. I think it's been a year, Joe, since you did that, and I couldn't go, and didn't know you that well, and now I know you. And
is it in Connecticut?
It's probably in Connecticut. And so we're on Blog TV. I think somebody's been asking that.
August 9th, 6:30.
Okay, I'm going to put it on there. Joe, will you email it to me, and I'll make sure it gets on our event calendar correctly. And I just want to say hello to all of you guys on Blog TV. We're so happy that you're here. And also to Keith and Rick and guest 1, 2, whatever. Put your name in. We want to know who you are.
And the owl.
And the owl.
Thanks
and
for
Purple
joining us
Car.
again.
And Banani. And Keith. And I don't know if I'm missing anybody else, but it means so much to us that you're there. And Obstructionist left. I guess I wasn't interesting enough for him. I'm just kidding. He's allowed to leave. And with that, we're going to go back to Winzenried. And once again, Winzenried is this really fun band. It's an Ariel Publicity band. If there's anybody out there in Pasadena, they're playing in Pasadena this weekend. And
check them out.
Check them out. So, whoops, I'm almost there. And here we go. Thanks for being here, guys.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. The first time that I met you was way back in '97. Probably don't remember because you were smoking a lot of nothing. Usually that's a warning, but to me I found it charming. Only let the girls, it's Prozac in the morning. No one to love you and no one to understand. You better get a grip before the shit get out of hand now. You got the baggage, baby. You got the luggage. Putting it next to mine just because you don't know it. Never thought I'd see the day when you would throw the truth away. Now it's gone and that ain't good. You didn't think you never could. Your mind is unkind to itself, but now it's well. That's why sometimes you need a little more than just a smell. Things just ain't what they used to be. Won't you come on back?